making sure I'm up and running. Hello, hello. Okay, all right. Okay, so, wow, all right. So I am loving what I'm seeing right now, and I just wanted to make sure I'm seeing people coming in, and we're all good. We're all good. All right. Sorry, this takes a little bit of time all the time. Every time I come in here, I'm making sure everything is good before I go on, because the transmission can really take over. And the next thing you know, I'm just like going full speed ahead, and then I don't ever want anyone to miss out on the transmission in any way. So just wanted to make sure the technology is on our side. All right. Okay, beautiful ones. So today's topic is pretty interesting. And I think first and foremost, all right, you've been awake for a while, Robin. Okay. Distract your thoughts. That's interesting, because we're going to dive into a place where there is no thoughts. And it is something that is really, really close to my heart, what we're going to dive into today. So if you'd like to join me in just taking a deep breath, just to anchor ourselves here, anchor our mind a little bit deeper into this space, because we are always skidding off into multiple directions. Our nerve endings are always on alert. So I would just love for you to keep the frequency standard of today's live session at the best and the highest, which means we are all present. And if you need to go, you're very welcome to go. But my invitation to you is to be fully present as we gather here. Because one of the things I'm going to touch on today is the importance and actually how we truly, as human, in our human experience, we underestimate the power of our presence so much. And when we talk about mastery in the mystery, a lot of it is truly about embodying our highest. And we're going to go there today. We're going to go really, really meta today. All right. So let's join me here today and take a deep breath, closing your eyes, and allow that deep breath to pull in, almost like you're sipping in beautiful light that is all around you. Doesn't matter what color it is, just become aware of what color the light is, all the way into your belly. It may land straight into the belly button, or maybe it's a few inches below the belly button. It's all perfect. And once you've done that, hold your breath and sip some more breath in, so that your belly expands to stretch open your solar plexus as well. And one more inhale, so that you stretch open the aperture between the solar plexus and the lower lobes of your lungs. That's the heart. That's right. Stretch open, open, open. Roll your eyes up to look into your third eye. And we're going to exhale into the space behind your eyes. Very good. Just allow yourself to land. You may feel like this sensation of fountain, something fountaining out of your crown, the crown of your head, and just fountaining and falling down all around you. If you're perceptive to subtle energy, that could be something you can feel. And it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay. All right. So, today's topic is very, very, very precious and close to my heart. And for all of you who are new to my world, welcome. My name is Li Ying, and I am a Cha Dao, or what you know of in English, the Way of Tea, ceremonial keeper. I work with tea as a medicine and spiritual cultivation. And I help women, I mentor and I guide women to truly embody a way of living as the sacred in style. Yeah, because we are all modern day mystics and we're truly here to, really infuse the sacred into everything we do, into everywhere we are. And in that sense, we are coming from this point in the energy field. And I talk a lot in terms of energy because that is who we are. That is what we are. That's all of us, no exception. And we move from that point into pure creation. So we are in essence mastering the mysteries of life. We are mastering the mysteries of life instead of thinking, which is the majority of the world, thinking that we or who we are, what we do is determined by the circumstances all around us. So I have an interesting story to come in with today. So right before jumping on here, I was actually in a driving lesson. I have been driving for 15 years of my life, close to 18, I think, by now. And coming over and moving countries to Edinburgh, to the UK, that really means that I have to start all over again. I have to go for driving lessons, I have to go for driving tests and all of that. And the interesting thing is each time as I go for my lesson every week, it always feels like consciousness speaking to me. It always feels like the divine is speaking to me through my very interesting driving instructor. Let's put it that way. And the reason why I say this is I can pull an example from today. So we were learning about roundabouts. So if anyone has ever driven around a roundabout, you know what I'm talking about. And a lot of it was very much about, okay, you have to plan ahead and know where you're going. So if you know you're going 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever it is, you gotta plan ahead and know which lane you're gonna go into, and you're gonna go into that lane way ahead of time, right? And I swear to you, like, I am not a fan of driving. I don't know about you guys, you can share that with me, but I'm not a fan of driving. I am an absolute, I would say, I love to be the passenger in the drive, like I'm not the one in the driver's seat, but every time when I'm driving, it always pulls me back into almost like this lesson of mastery of you are in the driver's seat. You are in the driver's seat of your life. You've always been in the driver's seat of your life. So don't hesitate. And these are literally words from my driving instructor. It's like, don't hesitate, make a decision and go. Know where you're going and go. Don't waffle, don't second guess, have the confidence to go. And those are his words, by the way. And it always makes me laugh because it really does remind me of how much it reflects the way we live, the way we are as human beings. Because, there were circumstances, and here's the thing, I work in the infinite field, I work in the vortex of stillness, I lead multidimensional women, and I myself am a multidimensional woman. I go into different dimensions and I plunge into the infinite field of creation, and we're gonna go there. Yeah, if anyone is not familiar with this, you're so welcome to ask questions, dive into what I'm saying. Let's unpeel that together. We will go there together. But basically, when it comes to driving, it really just was such a powerful, almost like a lesson on the ground of mastery, because it really is about You are the one in the driver's seat. You decide where you're going. And the circumstances around you, whether that car was being gnarly or that driver was being a bit in a dream world and you're driving and they didn't see you, whatever that is, it's almost like you have to remember that you are the one who stands unwavering in the circumstance. You keep your cool, you do what you have to do, you know what's right, and you keep driving, right? And so Robin is saying, I love being in the driver's seat of my life. Exactly. We all want to be in the driver's seat of our lives, and we actually are meant to be in our driver's seat of our lives. And so today I'm going to come in with the energetic component, because like I said at the beginning of this live, I'm very intentional about setting the frequency of every session, you know, but it's not always been that way. I've used to be very, so a little context, I love serving, like all of my mentorship spaces is underpinned by tea ceremonies. And to those who are totally new to what the way of tea is or cha dao, the tea ceremony that I lead, that I host, that I serve, that I'm in the highest service, is a place where I open up a field, where I create sacred geometries for the person, the guest, the client to come in and walk through the portal with me together and actually start to drop in to her 0 point field. That 0 point field may be something that you've heard of as the void. Yes, you may have heard of it as it's almost like this vortex where all there is exists. All there is, it is the all there is. It is the I am that I am. And in that sense, it is a space, it's a place where all potential exists. It is a limitless place that life began and life goes back to. You may have heard of it as source, the divine. You may have heard of it as Tao. I call it often in my mentorship spaces, I call it Tao, because it is such a powerful place where if you can go back to, in that sense, in the linear sense, because ultimately there is no time and space, it is always a spiral. But in the linear sense, I can speak in this way so that your mind can start to follow the gist of what I'm saying. We are going back into source so that when we return to stillness, we return to source to co-create in the mystery. And the mystery is also that. Yes? Is everyone following? Right, I'm feeling a lot of clearing here in the throat chakra. Right. So how does that apply to your life? Yes, how does that apply to you? If you identify as a multidimensional woman, please let me know. A multidimensional woman is truly a woman who is here to lead. She knows that she came here with a purpose. She came here to, she feels the other dimensions. She feels she knows the existence of these multiple timelines. Yeah, Danielle, yes, yes. So, and you are here to shine your most unique light and share a way that has never been done before. And this is powerful. Robin is saying, oh, I love that insight of 0 point. Yes, this is where we go to create the life that you are here to live. And the multidimensional woman, and this is truly where I come in with all my heart and say this, the multidimensional woman is here to light the way for generations to come. And the woman who lives in ceremony every day is the woman who knows that she is sacred luxury, and that is the frequency standard that I invite you to live as every single moment. It's like something that is so deeply ingrained into every fiber, every bone. It is you as the sacred, and I say this, the sacred luxury. You are sacred luxury in human form. And I say this so much because a lot of times spirituality in modern day has somewhat become disconnected from the frequency of being truly divine. Divine royalty, meaning you are not separate from abundance. You are not separate from limitlessness. You are not separate from the infinite potential. You are that void. You are source. I am that I am. Yeah? I am all there is. And when we came into this dimension, as we exited the formlessness of the void or Tao or source, we started to individuate as we move through the density, as it gets denser and denser until we reach this dimension. We forgot. We forgot our connection, or rather there is this strand in us. This is us. We are the expression. We are the fractal of the divine. There is no separation between you and that divine consciousness. And yet a lot of us, as you would of course identify as multidimensional women, or maybe you know yourself as a starseed, or all those names, we move through life almost feeling that sense of, I remember there is so much more out there, but I don't know what that is. And that was exactly me a couple of years ago, when I found myself really coming to a place where, it feels like I have manifested everything I desire, the job, the lover, the apartment, the city that I really wanted to live in. And yet it felt like I was hitting up, I felt like I was coming up against a wall, and I didn't really know how to move through it. And this is where you know, and I can tell you right now so that I can save you so much time, because this is what mentorship is all about, isn't it? It's like really about saving you all of those time that you had to move through unconsciously and not sure what's going on, and you get the guidance. And I say this not from a place of I'm here to save you. I'm not here to save you. Nobody can save you except for yourself. You have to be the one to make a decision. Every choice point, you get to make the decision. Do I choose the highest, or do I choose to just move through this and engage with this unconsciously? And that means you're turning your gaze outward and, victimized or blaming the circumstances for you not being able to advance further. So this is something that is what mastery is about. It's about really looking beyond what is going on here. Yeah, we celebrate the amazing things that are happening in our lives, and we also are fully aware that whenever something that comes up in our lives that doesn't seem like something we had, kind of put out there, like this isn't something I want, right? That is actually your alchemical portal. I call it the subconscious dissonance that is coming up for you to clear and release. And here's the key thing I want you all to listen very carefully. When I say clear and release, it isn't something that you clear and release because you don't want to see it, or you say it's a bad thing, it's not good for me, I need it out of the way, get it out here. I'm not saying that is going to be the way. The way forward with the highest frequency, and that is where things really become the frequency of pure creation, where you embody the expression of the divine, when you embody the truth of who you are, is when you come from the frequency of pure cosmic love. This is the love that you also know of in this dimension as unconditional love. And this starts from yourself. Every decision you make must come from that frequency. That means when you see something that's happening in your circumstances and you don't like it, instead of asking, how do I get rid of this? How do I get out of this? Get me out of here. You drop into that 0 point field. You drop into that vortex of stillness, as I call it. And you meet yourself exactly where you feel that feeling of, I don't want this. And you embrace that as who you are, because the void, source, all there is, includes that. If you look at a Taiji sign, a symbol of the yin and yang, each side contains the other. In the yang side, the white part, you'll see a dark side, a dark dot. And that dark dot carries the entire essence of the yin. Similarly, on the yin side, which is dark, and you see a white dot, the yang, you may think, oh, it's so small, maybe it's just part of it. It does carry the entire essence of yang in that dot. And similarly, you, beautiful being, sitting here listening to me today, you may think, oh, I'm just one out of a billion, a trillion humans out there. But you carry the entire essence of Source. You are Source. However, when we come to a point where we ask, am I? Am I really? That is also part of the wholeness that comprises Source. Just imagine, and this is a true thing, I'm not making this up, the cosmos has an in-breath and out-breath. It is constantly expanding. But with every expansion, it needs to contract. So with that in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath, and so on and so forth. That contraction is what I would call grounding and anchoring for the human. And the human is literally a creation of your Source self. You created this vessel. You created this vessel to fully experience life. To experience all there is to experience duality in this dimension. But the law of one, always with the law of one, you know that ultimately everything from light and dark, good and bad, hard and fluid, cold and hot, everything returns to one source. all there is. That is also known of on the earthly plane as the mystery. And this is where it gets really interesting, because you cannot access the infinite timeline. You cannot access source by controlling or thinking your way into it. As multidimensional women, and this is really coming from personal experience of myself and working with so many clients in the past couple of years, it is so easy for us to fall into that, almost like a trap, but I would say it's a blessing. Everything is a blessing. You are a blessing. Everything that is happening for you, through you, as you. Always remember this. The blessing of overthinking. Yeah, we are so intelligent. We are so intelligent, and we can tap into some kind of intelligence, and we love to dig deep into all of the texts and all of the amazing knowledge that is coming through from books and people and mentors and guides and teachers. And ultimately, the most important thing, and this is something we talk a lot about and we share in the Way of Tea, is that once you have learned and you've heard it, release it all, drop it all. Hello, beautiful Kristen. You forget everything and come back into that place, into the vortex of stillness, and really feel what is true for you. And this is so important, because this is where you really come into mastery in the real sense of the word, because now you have embodied. You have embodied the frequency of pure, profound stillness. That opens a portal to cosmic consciousness. And every one of you, every single one of you, you are a fractal of the divine. You are literally the microcosmic version of the cosmos. Every part of you. Your organ represents a planet, each one of it. And all of us here, we are in an ascension. We are ascending along with Mother Gaia into the next dimension. And then as we release more and more of the density, we are becoming lighter. We are becoming our true essence again. Yes, we get to light her up. Yep. Yes. Oh, stunning share in the power of ancient wisdom. Yes. For the modern woman, exactly that. This is the power of ancient wisdom for the modern woman. Amazing, beautiful Kristen here. Just put it in the most precise way. It is absolutely something that is still very much alive, because it is so, I would say, applicable to our modern way of living in every way. And this is where I want to come back to what I said at the beginning. You are sacred luxury. And the reason why I say this is because, as I said at the beginning, you can feel a lot of the spirituality, you know, you get into all of the amazing things that are going on in your life. You can touch the divine, you're swinging, you know, you're living in a way where you have your angel guides all around you. You can feel it all. And it is so important to remember that you hold the key to grounding and anchoring in all these sublime frequencies here on earth. It is your birthright. It is what you're here to do. We're not here to escape. Yeah, we're not here to escape our earthly existence. This is the field. This is the ground for mastery, basically. It's literally your training ground. And every one of us are here for a specific, unique, almost like a purpose, I would say, but I would say an unfoldment of a path. And every one of us, no exception, is sacred luxury. And there's one thing that I would say in terms of what I really learned for myself is that this past couple of years, I've just really come into a place of, really leaning into the sacred, really feeling into all these beautiful transmissions that are coming through. And there had been a period of time when I even last year, I actually heard the goddess speak to me where she said, literally, she said, the goddess desires to live through you. And as I listened to this, I felt this incredible bliss state. And because I had no idea what was going on. And this is why I emphasize really seeking to lean in and have the courage to step into places where you know that that mentor and that guide can assist you and can help you and guide you. Because I had no idea, and I was just bumbling about blindly, and I was like, oh my God, I feel all these things, I can create this, I can do that, and I kept listening and I kept going, and yet I had no idea where I was going, and it lasted for months. This is me being very honest with you all. It lasted for months, and in my world at that time, the circumstances were showing up in a way where there were also a lot of duality. There were people who were, there were people who let me down. There were people who said that maybe this is not what you're meant to do. And there were people who kind of said that you're kind of crazy. What is this thing that you're talking about the goddess that you can hear? She wants to live through you. Like, what are you talking about? And it put me in the way of so much self-doubt. So much self-doubt. I was wobbling. I wasn't sure what was going on in my life. And I kept going. That is the one thing I'm going to tell you about me. I just keep going. I never stop. And when I finally met a mentor that could really make me shine right here, I say, yes, this is it. I have to do this. I have to jump into this because there is something here that is unmistakably a return back to my mastery, back to someone, some kind of knowing in me that is akin to the dragon. And this is why it is so beautiful to come in here and share with you all the power of something that is truly so alive right now in our field, in here, right here, all around us, that you may not be able to see, but it absolutely is there. And you as a multidimensional woman, you cross the bridge between the unseen and the seen realms. You get to do that, and you get to do that fully and unapologetically. And you get to live as the sacred luxury as you do so. As you do so. Because this is the place, this is it. We're literally here to bring forth a frequency that you may know of as New Earth. And that frequency is the frequency of true divine cosmic magnificence, I would say. Yeah. So what that means is, and I'm going to go a little bit into the principles of Chadao, because Chadao has a beautiful way of really creating an experience where you become one with Source. It is something that goes beyond words, and that's why I love offering these experiences, whether it's in my membership, whether it is in like really deep mentorship, one-to-one, or in a group, or even in a place where we really focus on creating from Chadao, like deepening into the wisdom of Chadao. whatever that is, I always bring forth the knowledge and the experience itself of a tea ceremony that is steeped in this timeless wisdom. It is an intersection of a lot of influence, but primarily Taoism and Buddhism and Zen, okay, or Zen Buddhism, either one. So when we move in this way, it has that ritual aspect that connects you to the heavens above, to the ancestors, and to Mother Earth. That is the most important thing that I wish for all of us to never forget. You are Mother Earth. Mother Earth is you. When you feel the frequency of Mother Earth, when you align yourself with Mother Earth, there is so much innate wisdom here of the divine feminine you get to really plug into. And as you walk with reverence for this wisdom, whether it is the cosmic wisdom, whether it is the divine mother wisdom, or the dragons, or the ancestors, or the spirits, or the angels, whoever you call forth, when you walk as the sacred, it is a very different frequency. Because here's the thing, I'm going to tell you, you can absolutely call forth these powers from a place of hopelessness, desperation. You can absolutely call them forth. But the moment that happens, the frequency becomes, you become an energetic match to a certain type of frequency. And this is something that's very real. And I'm going to say this because I have been there myself before, where it feels like, okay, I have support, I have guidance. And it also is coming from a place where I wasn't owning the truth of who I am fully. I didn't own the truth that I am the creator of my reality. I didn't own the truth that I am the infinite. I didn't own the truth that I am source, that I am the fractal, the divine, that I am all that I am. So the vibration of the creation is very, very different from when I am truly standing as the master of the mystery. Let's put it this way. I am a master of the self. I am so devoted to mastering the self. And this isn't about mastering someone else where I'm like conquering the other, it isn't that vibe. It's about truly walking as who you truly are, unwaveringly. It's like you're parting the seas, riding on your dragon as the dragon and as the one who rides the dragon. And you are unwavering. There is no hesitation. There is nothing that can stop you as you move towards the very essence of what you're here to create. And this is the most important thing I wish for you to take away. You can put a lot of your energy consciously into, oh, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest that house, I want to manifest that trip, I want to manifest all of the things. Or you can focus purely in devotion to returning to all there is. Because when you embody that state, when you stand as that unwaveringly, like you know your own name, and maybe one day you say, that's actually not my name. God knows, right? But as you stand as that, everything in your reality will rearrange and shift rapidly to become the energetic match to that frequency that you are. That energy that you are, that is source, that is the mystery, that is the infinite, that is the divine. That is what we are here for. And you, as the multidimensional woman, you have the capacity, the capability to unlock that at the speed of light. Because here you are, you're listening, you get what I'm saying. Even if you don't understand, or maybe the mind doesn't really understand the words, like some of the things I'm saying, like what is it in the linear sense, there is this spiral that is already opening, this vortex that is open right here, where we are spiraling together. Thank you, Jen. Jen saying you are very tuned in and it's beautiful. And you are tuned in too, because guess what? I am a fractal of you. You are a fractal of me. And it goes on and on and on. It's a holographic game that we're here to master. And this is the most important thing I wish for all of you. I know that I have so many important things I just said, but I just know that once you start to see life that way, it's not even like a belief. I told this to my client the other day. I said, you don't have to believe this. You have to embody it, because that is who you are. There is nothing here that is made up. It's not a fiction. It's not something that someone wrote in a novel and I'm telling you to believe. This is so amazing. I feel more love and balance. Exactly, Lashandria. And this is one thing I want to be so honest with you. I can tell you, I can try my best to come with words to create an experience is out of this world though. The experience for yourself is beyond words. And I hold the space of pure, profound stillness like a master. This is something I can fully claim and own. I used to think I don't want to own this. I don't know if I am the best, and I don't care to be the best. I don't care to be the best because you know what? There is no comparison. We are all fractals of the divine. I am a fractal of you and you are a fractal of me. Like, what kind of comparison is there to make? I don't need to be the best. I just know that I'm very good at what I do. And that's because I'm here for that. I'm here to bring this forward to all of you so that you can live as the sacred luxury that you truly are. When you live in ceremony, to live in ceremony, oh my gosh, can you feel into that frequency just for a moment here? Like how exquisite that is. To live in ceremony every moment of your life, you've got to remember yourself first. You've got to remember yourself first. And to do this in my world, in my work, I walk with you. I go deep into a tea ceremony with you. We dive into tea ceremonies every time I meet my clients so that they can start to remember themselves. And this is something quite extraordinary because I myself remembered myself through a tea ceremony. I sat in a tea ceremony. I literally, I had a moment in my life when I was working in mass media, basically, and I was working at a style and fashion and beauty desk. And I remember, I was at a point in my life where I was, I was very into meditation and yoga and all of that. And yet it always felt like, I feel really good doing this, but whenever I step off the mat or out of the door, I feel like I'm just back to square one and I just get really, like, I can't control how I feel. I just feel like I'm at the whims and woes of my circumstances and the people around me. And I remember getting down on my knees and asking, sending a prayer to the universe and saying, please show me a way. Anyway, because I know there is something more out there, but I just don't know what it is. And then very swiftly after that, I literally received a media invitation to a tea ceremony. And I thought, well, I love tea, why not? And that tea ceremony was actually held in the tradition that I carry now as a ceremonial keeper. It's not Japanese, I'm just going to put it out that way because some of you may have gone to a Japanese tea ceremony before. It's a return and an honor of really beautiful shamanic way of drinking tea. So we had bowls and we drank them in a reverent silence. I remember the woman who served me, my beautiful tea sister, when I walked in, there was just this moment, like literally, like, whew, it hit me. Like, I remember feeling the presence of my grandmother and my great-grandmother and all the grandmothers that I have never known even in my lifetime. And I remember seeing this vision of my late grandmother sitting next to a cauldron, and making sure that the medicine in the cauldron comes to boil at the perfect time. This takes so much diligence and love and devotion. You know, if anyone has done that before, you know what I mean, or maybe you had a grandmother who did that. And to make sure that it's the perfect chi, you know, perfect boil, like there's a frequency to the soup and even the flavor and texture and everything. And so when that happened, I literally felt this homecoming for the first time ever in my life. And this was me coming from recovery of 10 years of anorexia. Never felt at home anywhere. Always constantly wanted to run away from home. And I was in Hong Kong at the time. That was the place I thought, you know what, this is where I can build a new life. And that was where I was when I met tea. And when I took up the bowl of tea and started drinking the tea, I heard tea spirit speak to me for the first time. It said to me, you have to drop everything you know and go and serve tea. Drop everything you know and go and serve tea. I love the love that is going on here in the comment section. And so that was it. It took a huge leap. You know, I quit my job. I left the city because at the same time, as I told you, things start to rearrange when you claim, or rather you step back into the mystery. You allow the mystery to unfold. And I really literally did. I literally just said, I can't stop thinking about this. I have to do this. And I don't know where this is going to lead me, but I know so profoundly the feeling that this is something I have to do. And I went for it. I quit my job. I was apprenticing while working. Let's put it that way, to be very honest. I was working and I went to apprentice every evening. I would apprentice next to the tea sister and clean the place. And I was the apprentice working on the water, learning how to make tea and serve tea. And the teacher that I thought I was going to fly to Taiwan to meet actually came to Hong Kong. Again, reality rearranging for you as the energetic match. Yeah. So the teacher came to Hong Kong and I learned, I studied with him. And then eventually it came the time when my love at the time, and now he's my husband, of course, he asked if he wanted to come, like, do you want to come to Edinburgh, come and live and check it out and see if you like it, and maybe if we can live together, we can eventually get married and consider a life together. And I said, yeah, totally jumping into the unknown, like straight up. The mystery opened up and received me with two arms. Because what happened after was that I started to serve tea ceremonies, and of course the world shut down. We all know what happened, and I had to move online to do this, to serve tea. And when I started to do that, I had no idea what was going to happen, but I just thought I needed to do this. And when I started to serve, I had women coming. All the women who came started to say to me, like, I don't know what it is, but I can feel the presence of my late mother, or I can feel the presence of the goddess, I can feel the presence of spirit talking to me, or blah, 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 all the things. And here I was sitting there across the screen, and I was like, there's something here. There is something here that goes beyond time and space. And so that constituted the foundation of the work that I do now, which is literally 100% online. 100% online. And the women that I work with, I will send this beautiful ceremonial tea out because these tea are very unique as well. They hold the vibrational frequency of indigenous plants. So I work with very specific high vibrational tea leaves so that we can really embody the truth of who we are as the one who stands between heaven and earth, as the one who is heaven and earth. Yeah, this is the moment that I'm gonna say is truly an experience that you don't ever want to miss, because it is an experience of yourself more than anything else. Yes, tea is there to guide you. Tea spirit is there to guide you because the tea itself is known as a medicine. It's been known as a medicine since ancient times. Michelle is saying, you have a very powerful delivery. Would love to learn from you. Oh my gosh, thank you, Michelle. Absolutely would love to connect with you. Drop me a DM or check out the link in my bio. That will be amazing. I would love to know more about you as well. But here's the thing, when we allow ourselves to walk into, and tea has been known as a medicine for a long time, and it differs from other medicines. Yeah, every plant is unique, every plant is different. Tea is an adaptogenic, so you can have tea every day. You don't have to come into a specific cleanse to imbibe her or to have her infuse into your being. She's very gentle, yes. And for all of the ones who have, questions about what kind of tea and all of that, I would love to answer that as well. Like, you can connect with me. I offer that on my website. I curate a specific sacred tea set so that you get to really experience that. But when you combine the tea and the ceremony, that's when we really go, yeah, we go light years together. We literally go into the vortex of stillness where you are in pure creation mode. Pure creation mode. I've been with women. I've done this work with women who were healing from eating disorders at the beginning, disordered eating, I would say, and disordered body image, to women who are here to be light leaders, who know that they are here to lead. These are women who are high-performing CEOs. These are women who are mentors, guides, teachers themselves. And the way that I'm going to say that has really allowed me to move through this is that I have no fear of the unknown. I have no fear of the unknown because I know in the unknown or the mystery exists all your potential, every potential. The one thing though, and this is something I need to put here, I definitely have to put here, is that yes, there is infinite potential. However, you have to decide what energetic match you are for. Yes? Agree? Because you can be an energetic match to many, many things. And you would be wondering, you must have been in a situation where you're like, I thought that I've done this before, but why is this back again? Why is this lesson here again? Like, I'm not sure. What is it? What is it I'm not grasping here? What is it? Right? That is why we want to come with a pristine, clean frequency. And this is where Chadao is so good at, because Chadao is 89 to 90% cleaning up your frequency, cleaning the vessel that you are, so that you are a pristine, crystalline vessel for the cosmic divine to be expressed through you, as you, for you. Your life can shift so quickly. Opportunities, synchronicities. Like, how did that happen? It happened because you are in full alignment. This is where we really come into big, like just ownership. Because it's no longer about, I need to change them, or I need to control that, or like, I need to have this before I get to do that. This is pure power. Pure infinite power. Yeah? And to complete the journey of going from the vortex of stillness, which is truly nothingness. It really is, because every limit is a limitless potential. So every possibility exists, yes, and it's non-existence because it's still formless. You must complete that journey through aligned actions to bring it from non-existence to existence. Lashandra is saying, I quit my job last May. I understand now it was to self-heal and learn self. I'm in a transit time and I feel something new coming soon. I'm so excited. I am thankful. It's beautiful. And the people that I will be surrounded with, so many people and places, I get to share my love and joy. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. This is so exciting. Thank you so much for sharing. Exactly. You feel that something new is coming. And this is it. This is it, everyone. Because you may have done this before, because I've been there. Yeah. You may have affirmations. You may have mantras. You may have beliefs, goals that you have written down, pasted it up there, or a vision board, all of that. But if your frequency is not a match to what you are saying, what you're writing, what you're putting up in the physical form, it is not going to be in that way of manifestation in your physical. Okay? This is so important because I know I've been there where I'm like, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest that, I want this, I want money in my bank account, whatever that you are asking for. First and foremost, it is important for you to understand that anything you desire out of this pure, profound bliss, like this feeling of good juiciness that Lashandra is talking about, anything you desire, it already exists in your field. Because if you do not want it, it wouldn't be in your field. The reason you desire it is because it already exists in the formlessness, in the limitless void, in the source field, in the unified field. To bring it from non-existence to existence, one must come back to pure creation, must come back to pure awareness, pure consciousness, so that you can bring forth that frequency through this crystalline vessel. What does that mean? You have to make sure that you are clean. What does that mean? That means that anything that feels like a distortion or something that holds you back or contracts within you, that must be met with love. It must be met with love, and the highest and the most powerful frequency of all is love. More powerful than anything, anger, grief, resentment is love. So if you're coming in and you're saying, hell, I'm going to do it, I'm going to prove it to the world that I can do it, that's not coming from love. And you may make it happen, but you will eventually find yourself again in a place of, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm hitting a wall. You may hustle, you may work really hard, you may get that what you want, and yet you wonder, when can I stop chasing? When can I stop working so damn hard? When can I stop proving myself? Because the truth is, you've never been meant to prove yourself. You were never made to prove yourself. You are already whole. You are already infinite. You are the expression of the divine. So there is no proving, no comparing. There's never been that, ever. That is an illusion. That is an illusion. And goodness, if you ever wonder, why do I have to feel so bad then? If I am source, if I'm the divine, why do I feel so shit sometimes? Because that's all there is. To experience duality is the only way you get to experience all. Yes? If you are remaining in the formlessness as source, you don't get to experience anything because you are all there is. The only way you can experience something is when you experience the dualistic side of it. That's why there is polarity. That's why there is duality. And eventually, in the mastery of the mystery, or mastery in the mystery as I would call it, I have a beautiful mastermind coming up at Mystery's Gate that we are going to do exactly this together with powerful, powerful multidimensional women. We are literally transcending duality while living in duality, because that is where we are. This is the dimension we're in. Yes? But to move to the next dimension, we've got to be able to transcend duality. This means we can see everything happening for us, as us, through us. This means that there is no preference, as my master loves to say, no preference for yin or yang. Really coming to a place where, you know, I can put it symbolically, where if you look at the yin-yang symbol, the Tai Chi sign, you don't see polarity. You see unity instead. You don't see the difference. You see the wholeness. Because that is who we are. So there is no more trying to hide our imperfections. No more of that. And one of the things that tea ceremony so beautifully helps you to embody is that which is I love. I am pure divine love. And every imperfection is what is considered as beauty. This is the beauty way. Because nature has never been meant to be uniform. That's not beauty. Yes, we have to stop controlling nature. Because as we control nature, we are trying to control who we are. We're trying to hide away our true nature because we are saying everyone needs to look this way, or everyone needs to be like that. Everyone needs to blah, blah. And even with trees, we try to do that. Even with tea trees, I look at tea trees that are wild and indigenous and alive. They are all over the place. And they're with bugs and bees, and they're with birds and everyone. It's a whole lot of mess, let's put it that way. That's the truth. And they make the most beautiful leaves. The most transcendental experience I've ever had was like really ancient, like 200 to 500-year-old trees. As opposed to a tea bush that you see. Uniform, cut to precision. Yeah? And they have to yield a certain amount every year. Otherwise, they get culled. What is that? And you can feel the vibration of that leaves is different. And my heart cries for those leaves. My heart cries for those plants and those soil. It's like me. I can feel it in me. As a divine feminine, I can feel the cry, the scream, the pain. And so this goes so much beyond ceremony. This is so beyond just like, I'm here to drink tea. And at the same time, it's really just drinking tea. It really is a deliberate non-doing so that you can enter the space of pure source. And then you express that. This is the thing. I'm gonna close off today by saying you are the expression of the divine. If you feel all the things and you don't express it, the final aligned action is not taken, there cannot be any anchoring yet or grounding, and therefore action is required. Whether it is today you go and speak your truth to someone in your life, or whether today it is to hire that mentor, or whether that is to come in and come for a tea ceremony experience, whatever that is, action anchors it in. And the more you speak up, the more you share, the more you say in the comments, you're setting that frequency in your field. Lashendra is saying, yes, it was scary in the vortex of stillness. It was so different than any experience. Healing from trauma and understanding that I needed to unlearn what the world tried to take. That's right. So the vortex of stillness is where we go deeply, and it's not a heavy, dense place. It's dark sometimes. I mean, it depends. Everyone has a different experience. Sometimes for me it's dark. Sometimes it's so pure light, pure light and love. And we are literally unlearning. Exactly it, Lashendra. We are literally unlearning all the conditioning, all the things we picked up. And what we are really doing is so big, guys. Like, women, you are literally setting the tone for the next generation. And you are here walking the path that your human ancestors weren't able to walk before. Yeah. And you're saying, I was born with all I needed and it can never be taken away. Exactly. I can control only me, and self-love comes first. Watching my thoughts, emotions, and actions are so important. I am enough. We are all enough. Thank you, beautiful souls. And yes, I'm so happy I joined this group. You all are so beautiful and positive power. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for holding that frequency for us, for this transmission to come through so powerfully today. So I'm going to complete this today right here. If you wish to join me in a deepening experience, you're so welcome to check out my link in the bio or DM me. Let's connect. Let's go deep into mastery in the mystery, because this is who you are. And we're going to go bigger than just manifesting that car or house, guys. We're so done with that, aren't we? We want to live as the embodied expression of the divine. That is transcendence. That is mastery. It goes way beyond manifesting wealth, because you are wealth. You are 100% that already. Now let's go make impact. Let's go lead. Let's go full power. Let's walk as the infinite. Let's walk as the sacred luxury that you are here to be. Okay? I am so passionate about really bringing the sacred back into luxury. It's like, like Lashendra is saying, there's a lot of trauma surrounding luxury and wealth. And it's time to end that, because that is who we really are. And when we unwind all the conditioning around the words luxury and wealth and even the sacred, that's when we can fully come into our power. So if you have anything around that, mentorship is definitely where you would love, I would say, go and consider that. Mentorship that is powerful in that sense, that can help you to unwind all of those conditioning, so you can step fully into your infinite power. And anyone who's interested in at Mysteryscape, we're actually starting on the 31st on Wednesday this week. So if you want to come in, the time is now. All right, beautiful loves, I love you all. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you infinite love. Thank you, Jen. I will be looking forward to seeing you too. Mwah. Big kisses. Goodbye, and I love